All right, so Assalamu alaikum and good evening, everyone. I hope that you all are doing great. Can you please confirm me through the chat that my video, audio, and the screen sharing, all three things are fine to you all? Okay, thank you so much, Rahul. Thank you so much, Asfar. Thanks, Sharimin. Okay, we're just waiting for few minutes so that everyone can join and then we'll start the class, right? I have started the recording. Hi Hamza. I've started the recording just in case if we forget. So it would be a blunder then. I am good, Hamza. How about you? And for those who were not there in yesterday's class, no one needs to worry because the questions we are going to solve today, they have no link with the yesterday's question. And the area like for the pre-scene, which I explained yesterday, you don't need to worry wherever the pre-scene is required to be referred. I will let you guys go to the pre-scene and let you know from where the information is coming. And the second thing is that you will have a better idea by this that to what extent the information is required to be referred from the pre-scene and how much your answer would be comprising from the pre-scene. Yes. So meanwhile, if anyone has any specific query, you can ask right now in the chat as well, and throughout in the session, you can discuss things with me in the chat, and you are all requested to draft the answer with me, right? Good evening, Shabnam. All right, so I guess now let us wait for 2 more minutes, like 2 to 3 minutes, and then we can start. And please confirm me that you guys have the question file with you so that you can also refer to it. Shabnam, the technical article thing is that yes, there are few, but they are not that much relevant, so you can just skip it because the anything which is related to the technical article, which you guys need to know, what we teachers do, we share it to you guys the specific information. Thank you so much, Rahul. Thank you so much, and I'm glad that these are helping you. All right, so now let's start. So yesterday we have solved question number 1, part A and part B. The part B, it was a time trap and some sort of a question which was very technical or the industry specific information, which obviously we discussed that if in exam we are encountered with this kind of question, we will either leave that part for the end of the exam, or we will solve it within a allocated time as much as we can and try to grab as many marks as possible from that part, and we will move forward, right? This was our strategy. And the other thing which those students who were with me till the end, they would have realized that only one part it was very difficult, and ACCA examiner compensates you in the other parts. Like for example, if one part is very difficult, like scoring marks from that part is nearly impossible, or something is, you get clueless into it. But that doesn't mean that the whole paper is like this. The whole paper, the very next question we discussed, it was very straightforward. And even the questions which we are going to do, you will feel like that these are repetitive nature question, or the question which are very easy and marks scoring. So that means that these are the time traps from the examiner, that if the student get stuck into it, he will mess up, right? He or she will mess up. But if the student um, does one thing, that he cleverly leaves that part and move forward, then he will be in a good position to attempt a good paper, a full paper, and score good marks, right? And you will realize this thing when we will solve today's questions. So let me bring out my pen so that I can highlight things for you. So here we have, is there any question? Audio lag. Can anyone else confirm me that there is audio lag to at your end as well, or is it at the end of Rahul? No, there is not. Tina is saying no. So Rahul, can you please check one more time at your end, because everyone is saying that my audio is clear to them. Let me know, Rahul, whatever it is. Okay. All right. So now let's move towards the question number 2, part B. The Human Resource Director has recently read an article on talent management and believes that the introduction of the talent management program at NCTech may help recruit new board members. Okay. As we also read somewhere that the 2 board members are going to retire, and improve workforce planning. Okay. As talent management is a new concept to NCTech. It's a new concept to us, right? So NCTech is not very familiar to it. We do not have any past experience. We do not have expertise. See, these are the things, they are not written here, but these are very straightforward. Whenever you are reading something like this, that it's a new concept, so a business leader should always think that yes, we do not have expertise, we do not have the prior experience, and that thing you can use into your answer if it is relevant, right? You have been asked to report back to the HR director about the relative merits of introducing a talent management program at NCTech. The specific requirement is you have to write an email to HR director which evaluates the advantages and disadvantages to NCTech of formally adopting a talent management program. As for and there are few other participants who are with me, like Sneha. I guess here we have Vinsha, Hershey, Easter. They would know that it is a repeat requirement. Don't you guys think that we have solved this kind of question in, I guess, PSS paper? Have we or not? Yes. So see, and it's a 20 marks question. That means these are the free marks. Don't you think? See, that is how the examiner compensates you in the exam. So if you find some part or requirement that is very alien to you, that is very difficult, please do not get stuck into it, because if you would move ahead, believe me, the later paper is very easy for you and it's marks scoring. Please do not do this mess. I'm insisting too much on it, because I have seen this thing into the mock, and I know that many students do this thing into the exam, right? And these are the last days, and we have to focus on these skills and these techniques of handling paper very well. Specimen 1, yes. Okay, Rahul, Apurva, Tina, I will tell you with the passage of time, okay? And if you find any specific query, you can always ask me in the chat. So the professional marks are there, which are available for skepticism by probing into the issues relating to introducing a talent management program at NCTech. So when you will be discussing the disadvantages, you have to show some skepticism. That means you have to have a questioning mind. I'm not saying you have to raise the question. I'm saying you have to apply a questioning mind, that you have to find out that how you would do this thing. Don't you think this will be a difficult thing? How will you arrange this, or this will have this impact? Have we considered this thing? So this kind of challenging approach, this kind of questioning mind, who is critically thinking about everything. So this is the skepticism skill which you have to apply. So this is a 20 marks question, and if I divide it by 2, that means 10 good points. So we will try to write 5 point in favor of talent management program and 5 point in against the talent management program, and we all know these points, right? 10 good points, exactly. So now let me see if we have any exhibit, and this is our approach, that always after reading the requirement we go to the introduction paragraph and see if there is any exhibit which is related to the requirement which we can refer. So can you guys please guide me that which of the exhibit we should refer? Exhibit number 3. Okay, 3. Yes, everyone is saying the 3. So now Manahil also saying 3. So let us go to the talent management program exhibit number 3 and see if we have anything. Okay, Farland Business Review. It's a basically article which is shared with us. Managing talent, the routine business success. Okay. In any business, employees are critical asset. Okay. These are some keywords which I'm highlighting, which will help me to draft my answer. As we all know that we copy or we borrow some words from the exhibit wherever possible to draft into our answer, right? And it helps us always. Sir, exam, can we write 8 points? Why, Ashish? Why 8 points? You are thinking that why we are considering the professional marks point into the marks scoring. So see, the thing is that for every good point you get 2 marks, right? And sometimes we also know that professional skills marks, they are a bit tricky. So to be on a careful side, to be on a conservative side, if you are writing an extra point or additional point, so if you are somehow lacking on the professional skill marks, you would be compensated through those marks. Number one point. And the number two reason is that when we write points in exam, we think that it's a correct point, but there is a chance that few of our points are not that correct or not that relevant. So don't you think if writing a additional point would be in favor of us? If you have time, I'm not saying that. See, this is the least followed, or I would say the approach which a student must follow. If you are having a good point more than that, and if you have time, you can write the additional point. But these are the minimum points which you should write. Okay. So who needs to be retained and improved to help deliver success? More enlightened companies tends to intentionally adopt a structured approach to management of their talented staff. Okay. Talent management seeks to attract, develop, engage, and deploy those employees who are regarded as particularly valuable to business. See the talent management program, these are the key highlights of it. First, they attract good employees, then they develop them, and then they engage and deploy them to the business operation so that they can deliver you the success. They can help you to achieve your strategy, your objectives, your mission. They can help you increase the customer satisfaction. They can enhance the customer experience, right? So these are the general benefits of the talent management program, which we can write in any scenario, right? However, to be an effective tool, talent management needs to be aligned with the business strategic objectives. Yes, because if the talent management program is not aligned with your overall business objective, for example, if I'm thinking that I am going to have a shortage of skilled staff, don't you think my talent management program should be focused on attracting, developing the skilled employees which I need in future for my strategy? Or my management program should be focusing on the some other things which are not that much aligned with my strategy? So this is what it is saying. So this is one also a benefit that it helps you achieve your strategic objective. All right. By managing talent strategically, a business can develop high performance workplace, promoting a learning culture, ultimately getting the best from its employee. So, other point, this is the third point. This approach means that the employees can make really significant contribution to the business performance and help to deliver the planned strategy. Okay. See, I feel like everything is mentioned in this paragraph or this exhibit. Nothing you need to think. Everything it is telling by itself. However, talent management is not as straightforward as it may first appear, particularly if managers are not fully invested in the idea due to work pressures. There is a high turnover of disgruntled staff. What does it mean by disgruntled staff? These are the staff which are not that much interested into their development. They are happy at what place they are, or even there is a scenario that few of the staff, their talent or their nature of work is not of the nature that it can be enhanced or it can be improved, or the skill level can be widened. How? there is some unskilled labor or the factory worker or technical staff, what do you think, how much or how to what extent their skills or their productivity could be increased? There is not that much room for the enhancement. So there is a point that if you would put extra efforts onto them, it will first waste your cost and also demotivate them. They could shift to the another company. We will think about it, Rahul, later. The people currently employed are not good fit for the business. Okay, so if you have, in very first place, if your employees are not good fit for the business, then what is the point in incurring the talent management cost at them? The first step it does, you should have the relevant and suitable resources, then you can do the talent management on them, right? There may be significant challenges, but the business benefit of talent management make it worth considering. All right. So this was the exhibit, and now I need you guys to type in chat 5 benefits of the talent management program. Only the headings. I don't need you to type a full paragraph. One message, 5 point in single line. Okay. Shabnam, not like this. Not like this. Make it into the message single message, 5 points, and these 5 points somehow written here. These are very clear. Let me highlight few for you. Excellent, Hera. Excellent points. Okay, meanwhile let me draw the structure of the answer. Good, Rahul. 1 point is missing. Good, Apurva. Hema, how could the talent management can make the effective decision making, because decision making is done by the board of director. Low turnover, staff learning. Yes. So other than the decision making, all points are good. Good, Asfar. Good, Ashish. Good, Sharmeen. Sharmeen, is it the correct pronunciation? Better efficiency, less error, better reputation. Shabnam, I believe that the better reputation is in the eyes of the other resources so that we can attract them. Yes, yes, good, Shabnam. Sneha, attracts and retain the skilled employees and lower retention rate. How the lower retention rate? No, no, no. Okay, I don't know how, but somehow our yesterday's answer got deleted. I am not able to recover it, but anyhow, I will draft it again. Okay, thanks to Allah, it is recovered. But Sneha, these are the two same points. The lower retention and retains the skill employee and retention rate to be lower. These are the same points. Okay, so let us draw the format now. So we are writing the email to whom we are writing the email. Let us go to the requirement here, and I can copy something from here if I need to the HR director, right? It is coming from whom? It is coming from the Chelwood consultant that we are. And you know what? Have you guys ever participated in some sort of debate or speech competition in your school, colleges, where one party has to defend something and one party has to, go against it? So these kind of things are similar to it. When you are talking about the advantages, become the lawyer of something and try to give the good ideas of the good sides of it. And when you go towards the disadvantages, raise the concerns that this is the issue, this is the problem, how you would be able to, cater it. Have you ever thought about this issue? So this is how you are going to, manage these kind of questions. Subject is evaluation of talent management program. The date is, I remember it was December 2000X3, isn't it? Somehow I feel like it should be here. Yes, now formatting looks good. But believe me, in exam, you guys are not allowed to worry about or waste time on the formatting thing, right? introduction, because in professional paper, yes, the formatting of the required format, it is required, but these kind of fancy things which I am doing, you are not required to do it or waste time on it. So the introduction is that, okay, the other thing is that in email you have to write the email in front of it as well. Like for example, you can make it HR director at the rate, this is nctech.com, simple. So this is how you can make their email address, right? For Chelwood, you can make it. It is better because in email format, you have to make it like an email. Yes, it is a part of format. So we will make it Chelwood consultants at the rate gmail.com. Simple. All right. So the introduction, this email, and then we will go to the requirement, and I will copy evaluates and till here, copy and then paste. So here we go. We are ready with our introduction paragraph. As always, we will copy it from the requirement itself. All right. So advantages, one by one. Number one, it will enhance the performance, isn't it? When your employees are, your talent is managed efficiently, when they are given training, their skill set, their productivity, their knowledge is being increased, their performance will ultimately increase. That the thing which I just told you, it is the draft answer. You just have to explain it. That why you are saying that how it will enhance the performance. I don't know why it is showing me the spell mistake. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so now I let us go and see if there is anything from the exhibit which we can use. By managing talent strategically, a business can develop high performance workplace. I will copy it and I will use this line as my starting point. By introducing workplace as talent management program will, what will it do? It will enhance the skills, productivity, and knowledge of the employees. And can we give it a bit touch of the industry as well, because the industry is very highly technology oriented and the environment is very rapidly changing. So if you are continuously updating or upgrading your resources, your talent, don't you think it will be a beneficial thing if I would write this thing into my answer? It will give a linking to the scenario. What do you guys think? Yes, in the current environment of technologically oriented industry, which is rapidly changing, the upgrading the workforce would help NCTech enhance its performance and financial results in long run. All right. Is there any issue or is there any question that, sir, how you came up with this point and how you think about this thing? Please ask. Because in exam, you have to think like this. Yes, Apurva, when I will be drafting the retention or the turnover point, then I will refer it to the risk register. So now we have let us go to the second point. Supports the strategic goals. Okay, so this is the point, that it will support your strategic goals or it will align with your strategic objectives. Excellent, Sneha. Very good point. Very good point. Concise, to the point, and complete. So now, how we can start this thing that it can support our strategic goals. See, talent management program, it's a whole together a strategy itself. So when you are making a strategy, you have to be very careful that your objectives, your mission for this program should be aligned with your strategic objective. But this thing you are assuming that you have to, and you have to mention it into your answer as well, that if the talent management program is planned and aligned with the strategic goals and objective, and the KPIs of the program are linked with the overall performance of the company and the success of the strategy. Again, I'm saying that the goals of talent management program, it is itself a strategy. If the goals are aligned with the strategic goals and objective of the company, and the KPIs of the program itself are linked to the financial success of the company and the strategy, then it will help you to support and achieve the success of your overall organization strategy. That's it. That's the point. If you can, you should, but it is not necessary. If you are just making the pointers, it would be more than enough, Musa. So guys, can you please draft a point for me? Meanwhile, I am drafting my point and then I will review yours. Okay, so I'm waiting for your points. All right, so now let me. Excellent. So now I can see good number of students who are drafting the answers. Support the Rahul, it is not a proper answer, and everything is vague. You have just mentioned the key words. It is not in the proper sentence form. Please rectify it. Good, Apurva. Excellent point. Good, Ashish. Good, Asfar. The other thing is that I believe everyone who is writing TMP right now, they will not write TMP in the exam, okay? Because you are not allowed to use the slang wording or the short forms. And that is why you would have noticed that I do not use it in my answer as well. Although I can, but just not to promote this thing into your mom, it's fine. Manail, it's fine if you have written right now, but I'm just guiding you. Manahil, if you could just add something which is related to the goals and objective of the talent management program and the strategy, that they will support each other. The increase of the productivity and better result, it is already covered in the point we just drafted above. The point is correct, but it can get better. Okay. Excellent, Suman. Very to the point and concise answer. Maham, this thing, I believe that it could somehow, fit into the succession planning point, that you can evolve and grow the other people into occupying the next step in their hierarchy. Hema, you have written the point, but I don't know why you are talking about the retention right now when we are drafting the point about the strategy. Sneha, I guess I checked your point. Um, okay, so now let's move forward to the other point. What could be the other point? The other point is that increase in customer satisfaction. See, these are the things which just come how naturally, because if your workforce is upgraded, they are talented, they will help you achieve the strategy. They will give you the good results. They will enhance the customer satisfaction, right? So these are the very basic things. Suman, for me, it's, if you guys are drafting, 2 or 3 lines are more than enough, right? But why we say 2 or 3 lines? Because if I would say a good paragraph or 4 to 5 line, then what it happens that the students start wasting their time in exam, right? So that is why we try to request them that keep it short and concise. However, if you would see my answer, they are somehow going to like 4 or 5 lines on average, because right now I do not have any exam pressure, I do not have any time constraint, so I can do these things. But to give you a better idea and show you how to draft the answer, that is why I'm drafting the more comprehensive answer, which will get shortened when you will go to the exam. So if I would make it shorten right now, you guys will make it even shorten to 1 or 1.5 line. Ira is saying something. Excellent, excellent. And Hira completed that if they understand it better, then they can contribute to the achievement of the goals and strategy, right? So the customer satisfaction, I do not think I need to tell anyone what to draft in this point. Please, guys, I need you to draft this point. Customer satisfaction. Okay, the only thing is that Hira and Rahul, you both have restricted your point or your thinking to the client communication, but also we are in the service industry. So the integral part is, the interaction with the customer. The service is being all, delivered through your workforce. So their skills, their competencies are very crucial for you, very critical for you. If they are not working properly, if they are not having the suitable competencies, they would not be able to, entertain client in a better way. So there they are actually delivering something to the client, not only the communication thing, right? So you have to mention this thing into your answer to make it even better. Good, Shabnam. Nice, Sneha. See, she has written that the quality of service provided to the customer. So this was the thing which I was looking for. Hema, you have to mention this point that it will increase the quality of the services which are delivered to the staff, the way of their communication, the way they will handle the client. It will, matter, and it will increase the satisfaction of the client. Good start, Apurva. He has connected it with the core values of excellence. Excellent, Apurva. Good, Suman. Sharmeen, it's a very, very incomplete point. Please, you have to start your point, like you have to explain that how this talent management program and why this talent management program is going to affect the customer satisfaction. So you have to link it with that. It will enhance the quality of the service because it will enhance the skills and the knowledge of the employees, and ultimately it will result on the customer satisfaction. So the proper flow should be in your answer. You are not supposed to, straight away say that it will enhance the customer satisfaction. Like how and why? Musa, again, not only the dealing, it's not only about the dealing, it's about the quality of the services as well. Good, Aswar. Good, Ashish. Also, Ashish, you can, incorporate the quality of service element into your answer. All right. So next point, what we can have the next point, succession planning. Do we all know what the succession planning is? Why I'm not giving too much time on the explanation, because we have already done this question in the PSS specimen one, right? So succession planning, I need you guys to draft the succession planning point for me. Excellent, Manahil. Now your point is getting better. Also, you guys have to discuss the matter of two directors being retiring, right? So you can also discuss this thing into your succession planning point. Apurva, I guess you are not clear with the succession planning point. The succession planning is actually about the successor planning. That if any post is being vacant, for example, if there is a manager of any department, that manager leaves the company or that manager is being promoted to senior manager, then there has to be someone who takes up the role of the manager. So the talent management program also looks after this thing, that if the manager would be promoted or if he would leave, who will take place of that manager. So the assistant manager is in advance being trained for the role of the manager. So this is a part of the talent management program that is called the succession planning, right? Hema, we do, but this is a kind of question in which we do not need any exhibit. Even if we are having some point from the exhibit, you can take them as a starting point. But this is not a rule of thumb. If there is something which you can write it on your own, you should. Good, Shabnam. Also, Shabnam, you can add the element of saving the cost of recruitment and advertising the employees and making the profile, these kind of things. Good, Rahul. Good as far. Maham, the point is good, but you have restricted it to the board only. Talent management program in the succession planning is for the whole organization. Okay, you can explain the same thing in a general way, and then you can give example that also the board of directors are retiring or the current board structure is near to the retirement. The succession planning will also help you in this regard. This is how you can do it. Good, Hira. Good. And also the thing which I have seen that missing from your all from everyone's answer is that if you are thinking about the succession of your employees, don't you think that they would also feel this thing that they are thinking about my upgradation or my promotion and they would be retained? Hmm? It will increase the retention as well. So the succession planning is basically the way a person thinks about its retirement and post retirement life and their children and their wife. So this is how it is. So if you are thinking about them, don't you think it will increase their dedication and the commitment with the business, and it will increase the retention rate? So far, the points which you have written, I'm not saying that these are incomplete. Obviously, succession planning could have many aspects. If you have mentioned two or three good aspects, your answer is complete. But you can come up with this thing as well. I'm just adding it to your knowledge. Nope, 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 Shabnam. But the thing is that how their skill set could be increased and how they could be promoted to the new post. For for company, it is the filling of the vacancy. For employee, it is the promotion to the new role, to the advanced role, to the new skill set role. Okay. Now, what else point do we have? Do we have any other point? Yes, I do have. It's a very main point: motivation and commitment of employees. See, we can do one more thing. Somehow, I have missed this thing. If I've missed some point in the succession planning which is related to the motivation and the commitment and dedication, I can just in a very small sentence I could mention that talent management program also covers or include the succession planning, and it will also have the impact on the motivation and the dedication of the employee. And that's it. I have included this point into my motivation heading. See how flexible this paper is. No, Musa, I'm just giving the example. I was just giving the example that the way a person thinks about its retirement and he cares about the other person, in the same way the company is thinking about him. So it's his role, his promotion. So don't you think it would be a good thing for him? It would be a motivational thing for him? Nope, nope. Apurva talent management program, they are saying that we would start this comprehensive program into our own company. Okay, so now I need you guys to draft a point for the motivation. Can you guys please do it for me? Hema, I do not know why you come up with such difficult and the fancy words by embracing the talent management program. You don't need to keep it simple. Yes, Suman, correct. Very appropriate point. You can put it into the succession. See, that is why I'm saying that the succession planning could have many points. It is just that the way you think, the more comprehensive you will think, the more ideas you will come up, the better understanding you will have about the subject matter, the better ideas you could come up. And the only thing is that the drafting, and the drafting is very easy right now. Because we are doing the practice since many days. This is our ninth day of the drafting practice. Let me read it, Hema. Nothing is wrong in the point. Hira, the point that they will be better to understand their roles. I would say that it should be in the performance enhancement. Okay, it is not connected to the motivation. See, somehow you have concluded the point into the performance and the productivity and efficiency thing. Right now, we are not talking about it. Okay. So when somehow the point is not very clear that how it is, targeted towards the talent motivation thing. If you guys can read my point and see how I have linked all things to the motivation and why they will be motivated. You have to actually explain that why and how they are being motivated. This I know that you are saying that they would be motivated and they would be retained. Good point, Apurva. Good point, Musa. Manahil, not only the promotion, it is basically their development. Okay. So when you are developing someone, that person gets motivated and dedicated towards your achievement. The only thing is that the you have only mentioned the reason of promotion. That is not only the part, right? So you can just change it and the rest of the point is good. Again, understand the skills and talent would ultimately motivate them. Not really appealing, Sneha. This is something which is related to their performance, not directly to the motivation. Asfar, are you drafting a point for succession planning? Are you only talking about the succession planning or the overall talent management program which is going to motivate them? I think this is something wrong in your answer. Shabnam, the point is not complete. Where is the motivation point? Rahul, not a good point. All right, so these are the five points about the advantages. So now we will be talking about the disadvantages. All right. So the first and the very important disadvantage is now I need you guys to one message, single message 5 disadvantages in the chat. And you're not allowed to look at my screen because I'm just typing the headings. Good, Hema, but where are the other 2 points? Yes, good, Hema. Here are good points. Sharmeen, are you referring to the suggested answer, or these are the points you have come up with your own? Apurva, expensive is correct. Time consuming, required dedicated staff, but benchmark decision making. I don't know how. Cost increment, employee working hour. Yes, Hema, good. Okay, good, Rahul. But it could get better. Some very good points are missing. Okay, all right. Asfar, you can come up with the with more points. Okay, so the points which I have written here is the time and the cost which you need to allocate, and obviously it's a significant activity and it requires the huge investment. And obviously, this investment is not going to give you the benefits straight away. It will take time. Okay, so you have to be very patient and you have to wait to harvest the fruits. So this is the thing. The other thing is that the morale of the employees, which you have mentioned as the what you have mentioned, it was a good word somewhere. Reluctance, yes, the reluctance from the employees. Obviously, everyone don't want to increase their skill set. They are happy with it, right? But obviously, and the other thing is that the talent management program includes the training, the test, and also the additional hours other than the working hours, sometime on weekends. So this is, we students and teacher, we are here on the weekends. Not everyone wants to be working on the weekends. So this is something which can cause to the reluctance from the employees, and it could be due to these issues which I just described. It could be because of they feel like we are already too much trained, or there is no room for the improvement in our area or the field. Why do we need to focus on it? The training need is that it is very crucial that how you plan the training program. You have to identify first the training needs which are aligned with your strategy, and then you have to plan the training programs, the manual, the trainer, and everything. It's a big hassle, right? The retention of the staff is that if the staff is being trained by you, then the staff is not staying with you, it's moving to the another company. The number one thing is that it will waste all your efforts and the cost. And the thing is that if it is moving to the competitor will have the trained resource. The prior year experience is that we do not have any prior experience or expertise into it. Okay, so there is a chance that we might not be able to execute this talent management program in an effective way. It might, because see, our core area is to provide the cloud services, and now we are going to the talent management program. It's basically a recruiting firm job. So if we are going to do it, it might take us away from our strategic objective, or it might not be a successful implementation. So this is some kind of disadvantages or some kind of skepticism which is coming into my mind, that if you are going to do this, you will be facing some challenges, right? Are we all clear on these points, or do we have any question in our mind? Please ask if we have any question. Meanwhile, let me read the chat. Okay. No worries, Rehan. No worries. Nevertheless, you can continue to join with us. Uninnovativeness of senior management, Manahil. How? Retention thing is that, see, Shabnam, for example, if you are being trained with one organization, and then you think that now I am being trained, now my skill set is upgraded, I deserve a raise, I deserve a promotion, and the company is might be giving you the very little raise or not the promotion, then you would say, now I will leave you, I'll go to the another company. And obviously the jump or the promotion by switching the company is always greater than being into the same company, because internal growth is always slow. This is the thing which I have personally observed in the corporate culture, and also being seconded by the other people as well, that when you switch the organization, the jump or the raise is very high, so they can think like this. Okay, so now let's time for the drafting thing. The all thing which I just discussed with you, please, if you would just produce it into the text form, it would be a drafted answer. So without wasting time, please first draft the point for time and cost. Meanwhile, let me draft my answer. Like you are saying that if the senior management would not be able to execute the talent management program properly, it would be of no use, right, Manahil? Okay, so meanwhile, those who have drafted their answer, they are requested to read my answer once and see if there anything which they think that they could have included into their answer, or if there is anything which they think they are confused on, you can ask me in the chat. Okay. Meanwhile, there are a few people who are remembering me. Apurva, the starting is very good. The point is very good. But the conclusion you have given that it is better to find investment. Is it okay? Okay, okay. My bad. I just missed something from the answer. That is why I was saying this. Fine. Good point. Good, Tamur. Yes, 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 Manahil. I got your point and it's correct. Yes, 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 Hira. Exactly, Sneha. Good point. Okay. So meanwhile, I'm drafting the other point, and then I will come and again read your points and give comments on it. As for like what have you drafted? You have drafted all the points. If you have done this, believe me, they are not sufficient enough. You have to at least explain them properly. These are the good points, but you have to create a flow into your answer that you are communicating to the HR director. You have to start your answer the way, see, I have done this. I have given the background first, that what I'm thinking and why I'm thinking. There could be some employees who are not interested, number one thing, or there could be some employees who do not have the room or the margin for the advancement of their skills or the expertise in the area where they are working. For example, like a technician, what you could do with him, right? Or there could be few employees who are too much occupied into the day-to-day work that they do not have the time for the talent management program. If any one of you would have worked in the audit firms or the industry or somewhere, you would know that how do we wrap up the trainings. So we all know this thing, that we are already too much occupied, that we do not want to invest our time into the talent management program. So this is how I have explained my thinking to the examiner, and then I'm saying that these employees, and then finally I'm saying that because of these things, the above heading is applicable, that these employees would not support and oppose the program, resulting in the reluctance from the employee's side, which is required to be considered or resolved. Hira, there would be. I'm saying it would be. Good, good, Apurva. Yes, nice. Excellent point, Apurva. Sneha, I guess you drafted the answer above. Yes, no, it was not you. All right. So, if anyone is currently drafting this point, keep on drafting and leave it in the chat. I will review it. But for the time being, I'm moving to the next point. Training needs. Good, Taimur. So I've drafted that it is also critical to identify the needs of the employees properly, which are required to be developed to achieve the strategic objective of the company. Otherwise, the objective of the talent management program would not be achieved. So that means that if you want this talent management program to be successful, then you need to identify the training needs properly, right? And this would be a challenging task because because different employees would have different needs, and if it does go wrong, the whole program would be of no use. Let me just give a minute. I have to talk. My mom is calling me. Okay, so really sorry for the break. Obviously, home minister, you cannot say anything. Good, good, Apurva. And also, one thing you can add into your answer, that the industry is very dynamic. Okay, the industry is rapidly growing, so the training needs which you have identified today might not be relevant in the future. What do you guys think? See, this is another level of thinking. You are thinking about the future as well. So how far you are looking into the future? Yes, Suman, you can put this as an assumption, and you can make a point that there might be a thing that the talent management program is not being carried out properly. It's fine. Which one, Apurva? The one which I just said. If you want to make it a separate point, that the dynamic nature of the industry, you can make it. If you want to, include in the training needs, it's totally fine, because the thing is that your examiner is not going to give you marks on the headings. Basically, these headings are for us to have a structured answer to control the answer. So if you are, for example, if you are mentioning 3 points into a single heading, they will be considered 3 points. Okay. Okay, so the retention of staff, I remember there was someone who pointed out something from the pre-scene, that the staff retention is. Yes, 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 Apurva. So the staff retention, the retention of the trained staff. So when I'm saying that there is a chance that the employee would would move would move to another company after the after getting the training and advancing its skills, knowledge, and competencies. All right, this will result in waste of time and cost being incurred on that employee. And do we have any idea about the staff turnover? Let us see somewhere if it was mentioned in the pre-scene. In the risk, it was somewhere mentioned. Yes, loss of key personnel, bypassing. So this is also your principal risk as well. Okay, and this is, and the turnover of the staff is your principal risk as well. So this should be considered, that how it would be addressed. All right. So this was a simple point. If anyone has drafted it, nope. Let us move ahead. So the prior experience. See, the talent management program, it's not a straightforward thing. In the pre-scene, in the exhibit, it is also written that it is not as straightforward as it may appear first. So you will take this line as your support and then you will start your story. Guys, can you please draft this point for me? I will check your answer. Yes, good, Apurva, good. Excellent, Hira. So whenever we are saying that there are chances, this is the skepticism we are applying, that there are chances, it could happen, that could happen as well. So this is basically the professional skill which we are applying right now here. Focus of the management from the core. Don't you think that there might be the need of maybe a talent manager or somewhat head of talent management program to be recruited from outside, or any recruiting company which we would take the consultancy, because obviously we are running a company, we cannot do something on our own without the consultation, without the guidance from the experts, right? So don't you think it would be a very costly thing again? Okay, so this is it. Let me just end our answer. Regards, Shelwood Consultants. Yes, excellent, Hira. Excellent. Good point. Good point. Very concise. Very good. All right. So now this is the well drafted answer for the 20 marks. Now tell me that, do you think that the compensation of the previous question has been done? Like, if you think that you would have lost marks in that question, or if you would have forgiven the question from the very beginning at all, don't you think that these marks are worth it? These 20 marks, if the student has drafted this question in a good way, you can easily score 15 to 16 marks into it. Don't you? Okay, Apurva, I will. Ashish, let me read your answers. Good, Apurva. Yes, Ashish, but also mention that this outsourcing could be costly as well. Do you have the cost to afford? I don't think so. All right, so now let's move forward to the next question. Now we are going towards the question number 3, part A. Okay, and I have a surprise for you now. So everyone is with me. Can we move to the question number 3, part A, or do we have any question regarding it? How many of you are with me? Easter, you have, I guess, joined late, or you were not participating with me. So the marketing department has recently undertaken a client survey to assess with the future strategic planning. Okay, Easter. So the marketing department has undertaken a client survey to assess with the future strategic planning, but the results are inconclusive. Okay, so the survey is not able to give you a conclusive results. This survey was discussed at the latest board meeting where it was generally agreed that the stakeholders needs to be consulted and their conflicting demands need to be considered. Their conflicting demands, that means there is some conflicts between the demands of the shareholder. Whenever, if you remember the model, there is one model which deals with the stakeholders management. Can I have the name of that model in the chat? Ashish, Apurva, Sharmeen, Sneha, Esther, Hira, Mandelo stakeholders matrix. And no, Esther, ENSOF is a growth matrix. Mandelo stakeholders theory or matrix. So in Mendelow's stakeholder matrix as well, we have studied that there could be a scenario that one stakeholders had some other needs and the other stakeholder had some other needs. And both of their needs are conflicting to each other. For example, government wants the taxes from you. Shareholder doesn't want to give tax. They want the high profits. Isn't it conflicting with each other? So there is some sort of conflict between the demands of the stakeholders, which we need to consider. Following the board meeting, the commercial director discussed the matter with you and asked you to consider the further and report back to him. Okay, prepare a report for commercial director which evaluates the various stakeholders who may influence strategic planning at NCTech and consider how they may have conflicting demand on NCTech. So how many requirements are there? There are number one requirement that you have to evaluate that which are the stakeholders who can exert the influence on the NCTech. Number one. First, you obviously have to identify the stakeholders that this will test your understanding of the stakeholders and the major stakeholders. And then once you have identified into your mind that yes, these are the stakeholders which I need to consider, now you have to consider that how they can influence or whether or not they can influence the NCTech decision making. And then you have to consider that how their demands could conflict with each other if there is any, right? So this is the second requirement. Again, I'm repeating it, which evaluates, you have to prepare a report which evaluates the various stakeholders. You have to evaluate the stakeholders who can influence the strategic planning. Okay, so you have to focus on the stakeholders, their power, their interest. Don't you think it was mentioned in the Mendelov stakeholder matrix? And then you have to see if there is any conflicting demand between them. Do we have any professional marks? Yes, we do have for demonstrating the evaluation by appraising the influence of the stakeholders having over the strategic planning. So when you are talking about the power, you would be discussing these 4 marks, right? So this is again a 18 marks question, right? And I feel like it is again a very easy and a juicy question from which you can score a very good marks. Don't you guys think that it is a very good or easy question? It's a very easy topic. Leave everything, the technological aspect or the industry. In any industry, this is a easy topic. So far the first part was easy. Part B, it was the hell for us. And the question number part A, part B, again these are the free marks. Can you guys please confirm me this? Yes, Ashish, but they are not, this is not required in the requirement. Again, understanding the requirement correctly is one of the biggest part of passing the exam. There is nothing which they have asked you to provide the appropriate actions. Ashish? So that is how you need to, handle your paper. You don't need to panic over one requirement because that one requirement could make you lose all the marks, right? Let us go to the exhibit. Is there any exhibit which we need to read? Is there any exhibit? No, not at all, Ashish, because they have not asked us to, give the appropriate action. We could generally say that we should not we should care about them, or we should keep them satisfied based on their influence or the power, but we are not required to give the actions. Exhibit number 4. All right, so let's move to the exhibit 4 and see if we have anything. Board transcript. Marketing director, what is he saying? He's saying that our client appears to be generally happy with our service we currently provide. Evidence from a recent client survey undertaken by my department, and they are not demanding anything new from us. So, what do you think? The client, are they a category of stakeholder which can have influence on our decision making directly or indirectly? Yes or no? I need yes or no. Can customer have an influence on our decision making? Yes. So these are the one which we need to consider in our answer. We have found one. Let's move forward. CEO is saying it's always good to see that the clients appreciate what we do. And I hope that the recent security breach does not change the opinion. However, we are not seeing any significant business growth, and increased cost of providing our service means that we are becoming less profitable. We need to do something to improve our performance before the shareholders start raising the concern. Yes, they need to be, and they are right now satisfied. Okay, Suman, they are satisfied. It is written here. So here is saying that our costs are increasing, and this will bring our profit down, and it will be considerable for our shareholders. Don't you think the shareholders are the one who can influence our decision making? But there is a catch. Do you remember that we have the institutional investors, and these institutional investors, none of them have individually more than 10% shareholding. So individually they cannot do anything, but collectively they can. So this is something which you have to be aware of, and you have to mention into your answer when you are discussing about their influence. And also, when we will be talking about our customers, please do remember this thing. Somehow we will try to discuss it if we would see it, if we would think that it is appropriate to do so. Commercial regulatory, we need to consult the number of influential stakeholders before we make any fundamental changes to our business model or move to a different strategic direction. Okay, thank you so much for telling us. I agree. The current IAS infrastructure is complex and difficult to manage on a daily basis. Developing into PAS SaaS may look straightforward on paper, but the resourcing, technological, and security issue would be very significant and costly. I'm not saying it cannot be done, but we should not rush into any major decision without fully appraising the impact on our current business operation, the short to medium. So they are basically thinking to go to the PAAS and SAAS model, and they are evaluating that what would be the impact on the major stakeholders. So I think the customers would be happy if you are increasing your range of services. The shareholders would be happy if they are getting the profit. But don't you think that you need additional finance for this? He's saying you need what you need. You need resourcing, technological, security. Also, you need the infrastructure as well, right? So these need the finances. Finance director is saying from a purely financial perspective, I am afraid that there are limited funds able to invest in the business. We should we want to further develop our current business model or attempt something new? See this thing? I know that our institutional shareholder always wants to see higher return on the investment, and they expect better share price from performance, particularly as things appear to have deteriorated recently. However, it is also vital that we consider the conflicting demand from the different influential stakeholder group before deciding on to our next strategy. Okay. on way that we could engage one way that we could engage with and become more responsive to our different stakeholders is by adopting an integrated reporting framework. An integrated reporting framework explore how value is created. This help improve communication as it covered number of key areas of business performance called capitals, which are of the interest of different stakeholders group. Okay, so there is some discussion about the integrated reporting. I have experience of integrated reporting in my last job, marketing director is saying. So I would be happy to take the lead on this, particularly as my team are in regular contact with a wide range of NCTech stakeholder. Thank you. That will be most helpful. We look forward to your presentation on the integrated reporting at the next board meeting. And this is the question number 3 part. All right. So here is the information related to our stakeholders. And these are our major stakeholders which we need to consider. So first I need you guys to type in the chat single paragraph or single chat all major stakeholders which we need to consider in our answer. I know there are many stakeholders, but what are the stakeholders we need to consider? If you want me to go to the requirement and show you the requirement, let me do this. Strategic planning. And strategic planning, institutional investor, and also the founding investors, the founding shareholders, the clients, the customers, the loan provider or the finance provider, Ashish. Good Sneha. Good Shabnam. All right. So let us go to the drafting. So we are required to draft a report. So this is answer number 3, part A. And we are required to write a report. And it would be to whom the report would be addressed? To commercial director, from what could be the subject? What could be the subject? No, no, Purva. This is not the case. So the subject is evaluation of stakeholders and their demands. Right? The date is December 2000X3. Introduction. This report, and what we will do after this report, we will go to the requirement and I will copy from here, evaluates the various stakeholders who may have the influence on the strategic planning of the NCTech and consider how they may have the conflicting demands. All right, so we are good with the introduction. Now we will talk about the stakeholders one by one. So first I'm going to talk about the institutional investors. The institutional investors, first you have to, okay, now let me give you the structure of this answer, how you can, draft this answer. Obviously, whenever we talk about the stakeholders, the first thing comes into our mind is the Mendelow's stakeholders matrix. So the Mendelow's stakeholders matrix always function upon two things. Number one, the power of the stakeholder and its interest. Yes. So while drafting your answer, you have to focus on these two things so that you can come up with the evaluation of the influence. If you need to evaluate the influence of any stakeholder, look at their power and their interest. Obviously, the institutional investor, as said by the which director, as said by the chair, that they always expect the better return on their investment and the performance of the share price. So their interest is high. When I talk about their influence is not that much high because they do not have the majority shareholding individually, but collectively they can exert the pressure on you. Right now, their demand is only that they need the high profits, returns, and the performance of the share price. That's it. That's the evaluation. And we will consider if we have any conflicting demand between them at the later stages. If we would draft the when we would be drafting the needs of the stakeholders, and then if we see that any of the need is conflicting with each other, then we will mention it simply. So, are you guys getting that how we are going to draft the Are you guys getting the drafting technique or the trick of drafting? Ashish, there are two kinds of shareholders. The one is the institutional shareholders, and the other thing is that the other shareholders are the three founding members. They are on the board. Suman, you have to judge their influence based on their power, how they can, exert the power. Some can exert the power through their shareholding. Some can exert the power through their finances. Some can exert the power through their resources, through their expertise, like board of director, they can leave you. The employees, they can leave you. The clients, they stop buying from you. So they always exert the power from the thing which are in their control. All right. So now let us evaluate the institutional investor. I need you guys to draft the interest and the influence of the institutional investor. Based on it, you will say that how much influence do they have, and at the end, you will say that what they are demanding. That's it. So please, in the chat, your answers. And if you guys need a break, we can have a break of like 10 minutes. I guess for namaz or something. Yes. Okay, so we can have a break of 10 minutes and we will resume at we'll resume at 8:10. All right. Okay, so the break is over. And can you guys please confirm me through the chat that you are with me? You have also come back. Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So now we were discussing about the what we were discussing about the stakeholders, right? So the institutional investor we were talking about. So first we will talk about the power, the institution, and meanwhile, if you guys can draft the answer in the chat as well, it would be very good. Yes, Apurva, see the structure is going to be that first you will talk about their power, that how much power do they have, like in the terms of shareholding, in the firm, in the terms of knowledge, in the terms of purchasing, whatever terms they can exert their power, and how much interest they have in the organization, like the strategy of the organization, right? Based on these two factors, you will say whether they have a influence on you or not, and in the end, you will discuss about their demands, right? And if their demand is, conflicting with any other stakeholders, you can mention it. Simple, perfect. All right. So meanwhile, those who have drafted their answer into the chat, they can see my answer as well, and see how I have drafted. And if you have any reservation, you can ask. Good, Ashish. Ashish, I was thinking that you are not attending the live classes and somehow you were behind the weekly progress as well in some of the weeks. So I was really worried, but today's after looking at your performance, I can, relax a bit that you are on a good track. But that doesn't mean that you are not going to put efforts from now onwards and feel relaxed. Okay. Neha, have you mentioned the interest point into your answer and the demand? I feel like it is missing. No, 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 sir. They are not up to 70% individually because um, yes, you can say, but obviously there would be some with the 5%, 6%, 2%. You cannot, gather everyone. So it's not practically possible. So it is better not to go towards something which is practically not possible. And this is a learning phase, obviously. Rest of the point is good. Yes, Suman. Okay, all right. So let us move forward to the second stakeholders group. Apurva, I will read your answer. So the second group is the founding shareholder. These are the people who hold 30% of the shareholding, right? So these are the major shareholders. Again, the same way you have to do the evaluation. Good, Apurva. Good, Apurva. You have come up with the conflict as well. Whereas my strategy was that I will not put the conflict into this heading, but I will put the conflict in the other stakeholders heading. Like for example, if institutional investors are having the conflict with the employees, I can put the conflict in either of the heading, right? So right now you have mentioned it is correct. Government can be shareholders, but there is nothing, no information regarding this is mentioned. So we are not going to assume. So the founding shareholder, good Suman, but the other thing is that while on the board of directors position, you need the voting powers to exert the strategic decision making. So they are only three. And how many directors do we have? We have a chair, five, six. I guess yes. Somewhere, let us go to the pre-scene and see how many we have directors on the board. I guess 15 somewhere. So 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So out of 12, they are only three. Don't you think they cannot exert too much pressure on it? If they don't agree, go to hell. Do not exert major, I would say. Okay. They can somehow. So this is a subjective thing. If someone is saying they can exert a pressure or influence, it's fine. If someone is saying no, it has to explain. And in either way, you have to, if you are explaining it appropriately, it's fine. See, Aswar has used the substantial influence word. It's good. Okay, Sir, good. Good, Ashish. Can you please also mention, uh, like in your answer, it is missing that what do they need? Yes, it could happen, but if about the institutional investor is that the company is listed and it could have this scenario as well. Yes, your point is correct. Good, Apurva. Yes, see, the thing is that they are not in the controlling position. Even if they have the substantial influence, but they are not in a controlling position. This is the good thing Apurva has mentioned. So he is coming up with the consolidation mindset. Yeah, right? Good, 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 Apurva. Yes, see the point which Hira has mentioned that they would be interested in increasing their own wealth rather than the other all shareholders. So, right, everyone, good points overall. Let's move forward. The other shareholders we have is clients or customers. What do you think? Are they in a Okay, I'm talking about the collective basis, right? I'm not talking about one customer. So on the collective basis, don't what do you think? What are the interest? What are the power and the collective demand of the clients and the customers? Let's go. No, Hira, they do have. They do have. If the company is going into the wrong direction, they would be losing. For example, if you are right now using one product and you are satisfied with this company, and somehow one day you come to know that the product or the company is no more operating efficiently, or their services are not that good right now, their prices are high, don't you think that you would be affected by this? You have to it is very easy to say that we will move to another service provider, but it is in this industry or in any industry, when you say that we will move to another company or the another supplier, you have to evaluate the supplier, you have to do the negotiation, you have to check the quality, you have to check the trust, security, everything. Don't you think it would be a hassle for them, and they would also be wanting that the company moves in the right direction, company grows, and company increase the range of the services it provides to them? Currently we are only providing IaaS. Don't you think that the customer would want us to provide the PaaS and SaaS services as well? Yes, 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 yes. Purva, we were talking about the client on the individual basis, but even if you are evaluating them on the single basis, it's fine. But again, such a huge crowd, we never go to the individual basis. We just collectively think about them, because it would be difficult or nearly impossible to evaluate it practically. Good, Apurva. Overall, it's a good point. Rehan, vertical integration by the customer would not be financially feasible for the customer, as it would be massive financial constraint for the customer. However, the same services could be cheaper for the customer. Okay, okay. Now I got your point. So, but Rehan, try to be specific. If you can just mention that developing a in-house data center or affording the advanced softwares or the computing technique, it would be better. The vertical integration, I got it, but although examiner would also get it, but please try to keep it simple. Overall, a good point. Yes, Suman, we should. We should. But Suman, I do not get that the you lost the structure of the answer which we agreed we would follow. You started somehow from the breach, and the power thing is missing. I don't know. You have missed the structure. Okay, Rehan. Sneha, why customer interest is low? Why they are losing interest in your product? Have you read it somewhere? Otherwise, the point is good, Sneha. So the next point is about whom? Can we discuss board of directors? It was mentioned in the exhibit. Let me see. Um, Generally happy. Sneha, it was mentioned that they are happy. The interesting, Sneha, can you please tell me if I'm missing something? Okay, so now employees. What do you guys think? The employees, do they have the power? Okay, I'm including employees and board of director into it, right? Collectively. So the employees, I need you guys to draft the point for the employees, because see, employees do have the interest. That's for sure. Because if the company is going into the right direction, they would have the continued employment, they would have the promotions, benefit, increments, everything. If the company is developing talent management program or not, the employees are affected by it. So their interest is there. Sneha, I was saying that if you can identify me that where in the exhibit it was mentioned that the clients are losing the interest from us. Maybe I'm missing something. So now getting back to the question in the first para. Generally happy in the service we currently provide, evidence from the client survey undertaken by my department, and they are not demanding anything from us. So the demanding thing is something else and the interest thing is something else. They are is saying that something new, they are not demanding, that they are not complaining something about it. For example, um, you guys are joining these classes, you are satisfied that we are doing practice, you are learning things, but you are not demanding anything. That doesn't mean that you are not interested. You are not demanding because you know whatever I am doing is already sufficient. So that means that they are not, you are not demanding something, but that doesn't mean that you do not have interest in whatever I am doing. Getting my point? Yes, Apurva, yes. Yes. Employee do have the high power because okay, it depends again. The employees who have the technical skills, who are not easily replaceable, they would have their say. Those employees who are, easily replaceable, go to hell. We do not care about you. So this is how the power structure would goes on, and the board of directors as well. So this is how it would go. And what employees would be demanding? Obviously, employees would be demanding their growth along with the company's growth. That if the profits are growing, their salaries should grow. Their training development should be focused on. This is their demand. Their workload should be enhanced. Simple. But the other thing is that the shareholders would not want it. The shareholders would not want to increase the salaries, bonus, staff training. These are the heavy costs. Don't you think that the shareholders would not be agreeing on it? And the board of directors, what do you think that the board of directors, there could be some people on the board who would be against the talent management program? That no, it's not our core competencies, it's not our area, we should not, you know, think about it, we should not put efforts into it. They are scared. They are scared. Okay. Okay. So now you got my point. Now I need you to draft the point so that I can review it. Manahil is not drafting the answers. Maham is not drafting the answer. Are they in the chat? Yes, they are in the meeting. Shabnam is not drafting. Shabnam is not. Taimur, you are sometime drafting, sometime not. Why? Can anyone tell me that how many marks were allocated to this question? It was 18, right? Yes. John, you were not drafting anything. I caught you. You're not drafting anything and you just wrote 18 right away. So I feel like nobody's. See, it's, these are the tricks used by the teachers. We all know how to catch you guys. Those who are not studying, or those who are, having some fear in drafting things. Anyway, so I guess the four shareholders or the four stakeholders would be more than enough if we are going to draft the answer. So next I would talk about the regulator. If we need to, we can, in a very short paragraph, we will summarize the regulator as well. But someone also conclude that what do they demand, and I guess you have mentioned, but if I'm missing, please ignore. If you have not mentioned, then please mention what do they demand and how their demand can be conflicting to the other stakeholders. Hira point is good, but evaluate their influence, connected with the influence over the strategy, and then connected with the conflict between the demands of the different stakeholders group. Ashish, good, but the conflict between the demand is missing. Good, Rehan. Again, the demand point is missing. Conflict between the demands. Good point, Apurva. CPD. Excellent point, Apurva. Excellent. Guys, can you tell me one thing, that what if in the exam you are not able to identify the power is high or low? What will you do? Will you waste time thinking 10 minutes, 20 minutes on whether the power is high or low? If I would be in your place, I would apply my best assumption and I would mention it into exam, that what I have thought and why I am mentioning it as high or low, and then I will move forward, because it's a subjective paper. Whatever I am thinking could be correct if it is relevant, and if it is totally not incorrect, right? For example, the way we talked about one, the other three shareholders, founding shareholder, I told it that these are not major shareholder, but you told that they have the influence. And I, at not on a single comment, I said that it's wrong. Why? Because it's a subjective paper, and you guys explained it thoroughly, that why you are saying that they have the major shareholding. So that is how the flexible paper this is, and why I'm telling you this, because you guys will not waste your precious time in the exam on these kind of subjective things, right? Sneha, not all the employees which are not replaceable easily have the great influence. Okay, you have somehow mentioned it in the later part. Good point. Individually also, Manahil, some of the employees are in the position they can exert the pressure, like senior management person, board of director, and these can. Yes. You have mentioned it in the later part. Correct. Manahil, where is the part about their needs and the conflict of the needs between the stakeholders? Manahil, the thing is that the employees want the CPD, the continued professional development. They need a raise in salary. They need a increment bonuses. Shareholder doesn't want to give this. They want profits. Also, the directors, there could be some directors, they would be of the viewpoint that we are not responsible for the development of the employees, we do not have this responsibility. Don't you think there would be other conflicts in their demands? This is how it is. Yes, Apurva. Yes, Ashish. Yes, this is what I was trying to explain. um if it is medium, there is no medium thing. You have to choose or pick either of the thing, and whenever it is like choosing the, when you are stuck in something, always think that if that stakeholder is not being kept happy, can that stakeholder give you any harm? If yes, he has the high power. There is nothing medium. Either he can harm you, he or she can harm you, or he or she cannot. If he can harm you, high power. If he cannot, low power. Simple. All right, so the next is, what we have next. We are done with the employees, clients, and we will talk about the government. Can you guys draft the government point for me? By the way, it's very easy, and something from the pre-scene could be also referred, that the regulations are evolving and they are rapidly changing. There was a risk that they could become costly and onerous. This was the word I remember. Financial institution, yes, Easter, you can, but there is no specific information related to them. So if even if you are going to write it, it would be very general. If you are not coming up with the major stakeholders at the moment or in the exam, you can write, but for me the top five are them. Yeah, all right. So the government point is that the government or regulator would be much focused on the data security of the client. So they have the interest, and they also have the interest that you are, whether you are complying with the laws and regulation of the data security or not, right? And these non-compliances, that means if you do not comply with them or you do not keep them happy, what could be the consequences? That they can revoke your license or even impose the penalty. So they have the high power, and also they can impact you by changing the laws and regulation, which can make the compliances costly and onerous. No, Apurva. In such kind of industries where the public interest is on the stake, regulators are always interested in bank, insurance, mutual fund, data centers. You even have seen Mark Zuckerberg was called by the, I guess, US Parliament or somewhere. So they are always interested. And also the chat GPT owner is being asked many questions right now. So you can never say that the government is not interested. Suman, no little interest. Good Maham, good Easter. So all right. So this was the report we have written, and then let me put the ending notes, and we can call our answer. So far, this is the second question of the day, and I would say these are the baby questions. Like anyone who have studied SBL could answer them easily. So I have no regret in sacrificing the question number one, part B, if I'm going to get this much question ahead. In my paper, what I used to do, I used to attempt paper in the reverse order sometime in few paper, because there are easy question at the end, because most of the student never reach there, they get stuck into it. So this is why I always try to check if I can start from the last requirement if it is independent requirement, because they are normally easiest one, because most of the student never reach them. I will share the answer, no worries. Good Manahil, the point about the conflict is again missing. They are not manufacturing anything. Sneha, they do have the interest. Good, Hira, good. The conflict of the interest is missing. So, by the way, the time of the class is end, but we have one question, I guess, left with us, right? So, would it be possible for you guys that if I would extend the session for 30 minutes, more 30 minutes, and we can um, draft the last part, and like for example, the main capital. See, this is the very easy thing, and we would just discuss it, and I will provide you the answer, right? And the advantages, we will draft it, right? So what do you guys say? Can we extend it? I need, if I guess, out of, like, if I can get five or six people who are agreeing to extend the session, then I feel like we can do it. And these are going to be the very easy marks. All right. Yes. Okay. We can have a 5 minutes break, and then we will have extension of the class. Okay, Suman? Ashish, it is a recent exam. It is a December 2023 attempt. These kind of question are asked, and you can check the the requirement may not mention the model specifically, but you should be able to pick it. And if it is not mentioned, it is a good thing that you are not bound to apply the model, but you can keep the model in the mind while drafting the answer, the way we did. I have not mentioned any heading of the power of the influence or the interest, but I have made a structure using the model in my mind. Maham, conflict cannot be like it. It has to be like this. That means that you have drafted it perfectly. No, Suman, not at all. We are not supposed to explain the model. Examiner knows it. We just have to apply it. Now, if you guys allow me, can I also have the break of 5 minutes? Oh, thank you, Hira, for telling me. So that means I have to repeat everything again. Um, can you guys please confirm me that you are with me and we can start, or we can resume? We have already started. Everyone is there. So Sneha was asking that when we will have the second mock. Sneha, we will have the second mock on the Saturday, the coming Saturday, because during the weekdays, due to the busy audit season, I would not be able to come and have a live class on the pre-scene just to explain it and start the mock. So we will have it on Saturday or maybe on Sunday. I will disclose, because maybe Saturdays are also on in the audit season. And there was some other question as well. Ashish was saying something. Let me answer. Ashish, you can. Okay, let me ask it. Answer it for everyone. See, Ashish is saying that the recent attempt papers, they are more like a general, right? So yes, Ashish, not only the recent attempt, every attempt, the requirements are really general and the answers are also common sense. Like if I discuss about the this thing, question number 2, part A, where we were discussing about the advantages and disadvantages of the HR talent management program. It is nowhere we have studied, but we know that what are the needs of the employees, how the motivation works, how the leadership works, and we have collectively used all this concept to answer this question. The SBL examiner is never going to ask you that apply the Mendelow's stakeholder matrix, give me 2 headings, power, interest. No, he will ask you about the stakeholders management. And he would be expecting that use the model wherever possible and take the help from the model wherever and apply your common sense, apply the whole business knowledge, understanding, and a big picture view to answer the requirement. And this is how it occurs. So see, for here, in this requirement, they are asking you to explain the main capitals that should be included in the integrated reporting. So we all know there are 6 capital in the integrated reporting. We have studied, but now you have to explain it and somehow you have to connect it with the scenario, that how and what are the like financial asset, what do we have, intellectual capital, what are the intellectual capital as per the scenario. So this is how the general paper is. Yes, Apurva, I will explain the pre-scene for everyone and then the mock will start. All right. So without wasting any further time, let us start the question number 3, part B. At the same board meeting, the CEO proposed the way to reconcile the very demand of the stakeholder was NCTech to adopt integrated reporting. Yes, we did read this thing in the exhibit that CEO was talking about the integrated reporting and marketing director said that I will take the lead. The marketing director agreed to present his recommendation on the IR at the next board meeting, as he need to convince several board members of the merits of IR, and he has asked your assistants. Prepare 2 slides. So we are required to follow the slide format, and we all know that in CB platform and also in exam you will be having a slide tab which you will use to answer this type of questions. Accompanying notes are also required for the presentation to the board. It is going to be presented to the board, so you have to be very careful while conveying your points that it should be at the board level, right? You are not required to go into the nitty-gritty and the petty issues. Explain the main capitals. We have 6 capitals, you have to explain them. This is the copy paste requirement. This is the, I would say, this is not the SBL type requirement. And why it is here? Because of the question number 1, part B. Because examiner knows that he has done some very difficult, he has given some very difficult requirement in the question number 1, part B. So that is why he has been compensating in all the requirement. And believe me, all of our sympathy is with the students who were in this attempt and they wasted times and lose their confidence. They took their morale down because of the question number 1, part B, and see how easy the other questions are. So you have to just explain them. Whatever the knowledge you have, whatever you have studied into the lecture about each capital, you have to just explain. Nothing more. Explanation, the definitions, including the integrated reporting to be used in the NCTech. The only thing you have to do is you have to connect with the NCTech environment. That's it. Advice on the business benefit. This is something which you need to do. Again, this is also have been already discussed into the lectures. And also we have done some, I guess we have done this question as well. If there is someone, Sneha would confirm that we have done this into PVS or into the PSS about the integrated reporting and its benefit. So this is again a very simple requirement. Professional marks are for the communication skill by clarifying and simplifying the integrated reporting and using the appropriate professional tone that is easily understood by the NCTech board, because you have to convince them. So it's a 16-mark question. You have to divide by 2 and you will get 8 points. So 8 points, that means not the 8 points basically in slide 1. You will in, explain these 6 capital and benefit. I would say if you can come up with the 4 good benefits of the integrated reporting. So for the main capital, if I would discuss with you just verbally, and I will draft it here in the rough area. Okay, so the rough area, can how do we have to start the answer? You have to start the answer simply. Choose the slide format, put the pointers in the slide, and then the accompanying notes. So the slide one will have the financial capital, natural capital, manufactured capital, intellectual capital, social capital, and then we have the financial, natural, manufactured, intellectual, social, and which one capital? Human capital. Excellent. Thank you so much. So these are the capitals, and now the accompanying notes. For Suman, I am making the format very roughly. So point 1, you will explain what is the financial capital. Financial capital, this is whatever I'm saying now is a proper answer. The financial capital, that means the financial resources which are available to the company. In the case of NCTech, right now they have the declining financial performance in the financial resources, right? So they should disclose this into their integrated reporting. Not only this, that they are facing difficulties, they should also disclose the strategy or the solution of the directors, that how they are going to arrange the capital or the finances for the future strategies, future development. That's it. Tell me, is it difficult? No, not at all. You just have to explain what is financial capital and then connect it with the NCTech scenario. That's it. Next, we have the natural capital. What do we mean by natural capital? Next point. Natural capital means that whatever the natural resources which are used or which are available to the entity, these are natural capitals, right? It includes the environment, the land, I would say the water, minerals. These all are the natural capitals. And also, while disclosing into the integrated reporting, the entity should also include or disclose that what are the direct or the indirect effect of the company's operation on the natural capital or the natural resources. Simple. Are you guys getting my drafting idea, that how I am first explaining it and then connected it with the company specifically? Or do we have any confusion? Please let me know, because I am discussing it because of the shortage of the time. The answer I will provide you proper. Okay, Sneha is saying perfect. Is there anyone else who can confirm me, so that I can have a comfort that whatever efforts I am putting are understandable by you? I do not think, Easter. I do not think. Okay. So the next is the human capital. Human capital means the human resources, your employees, their knowledge, their expertise, their competencies. So in the specialized or the service industry, human capital is very important. And when NCTech is going to disclose the human capital, it shall be disclosed that at what level and what extent of the human resources are available to it, what they are doing for the betterment of their human resources, and what are their development plans. Simple. Yes, Easter, it is. Because how can you conclude that which one is not main capital? Because integrated reporting concept is that you include all these capitals, and if we are thinking that we would miss out one or skip one, I feel like it's against the integrated reporting idea itself. Then what we have? We have manufactured capital. Manufactured capital means the physical assets which you have manufactured, right? So for the case of NCTech, you would have the infrastructure, the data centers, right? The backups. These are your manufactured capital. The backup warehouses or the backup location. These are your manufactured capital, and it shall be disclosed in the integrated report. Then we have the intellectual capital. Intellectual capital means the intangible. These intangible includes your brand name, your some software, some customer customer communication way methods, right? And also your customer satisfaction level. This is again your reputation thing. So you can mention, the NCTech should mention these things into the integrated reporting, that what are their customer satisfaction level, what are their brand values in eyes of the customers, right? These are our intellectual capital. Then we have the social capital. When I talk about the social capital, it tells me that what is your relationship with all your stakeholders. So you have to first, in your disclosure, NCTech should mention the main stakeholders and relationship with them, what NCTech is doing to keep them satisfied. That's it. This is going to be in your integrated reporting. Then we have the human. I guess I have discussed already the human capital, isn't it? Yes. So this answer is completed. Believe me, this was the easiest paper if I remove question number 1 part B. Why I am insisting? Because in your question, in your attempt as well, there is going to be one question like this. Please, please, please do not waste your time. Do not waste my effort, your effort, your parents' fees, everything onto that bloody question, right? So answer number 3, part A, we already discussed. So I'm leaving the space for it. And now, no, part B. It was part B. We have two things into the part B. So slide number 2. Mhm. Now, can you guys just list down the benefits of the integrated reporting simply into the chat? Because there is nothing technical into it. Believe me. Just one liner, one heading wise in one single message. And you know what? What if I give you a technique for this kind of question? Because these kind of things, the sustainability, integrated reporting, these are the things which are very hot topic these days. Whatever are the missing elements in the financial reporting or the historical reporting, these are the benefits of the integrated reporting, because integrated reporting was made or introduced to overcome the weaknesses of the financial reporting only. Are you guys able to understand this thing, that there was the financial reporting earlier, but then the people introduced the integrated reporting because there were some weaknesses to the financial reporting. What? The financial reporting was historical. It is forward looking. The financial reporting was not focusing on the value creation. It was focusing on the only financial capital. The financial reporting does not give the enough transparency to the shareholders or the stakeholders about the business and all the capitals, right? Financial reporting does not talk about the wider resources that are human capital, natural capital, social capital, financial capital, intellectual capital, manufactured capital. It does. Financial reporting does not care about the wider stakeholder. It only care about the shareholders. And this is the volunteer disclosure. It increases the reputation when you provide the honest and the transparent information. Good, Easter. Maham, stakeholder confidence, better decision making. Maham, I believe you have the explanation on it. Internal benefits. Again, if you can explain it, I don't know what is the thinking behind it, but we will see. Holistic view, effective communication with the shareholder, better decision making. Sneha, how better decision making? Please, Sneha and Maham, if you can explain how competitive advantage, Sneha. Hiraj, see, for the forward looking, whenever I talk about the financial reporting, it always talk about what has happened. But integrated reporting talks about what your plans are, what your strategy is. The way we talk that in financial capital, NCTech should mention that how they are going to arrange the finance, what they are going to do for their employees, what are going to be the impacts on the natural resources and how they are going to minimize it, right? If I talk about few more things, that social capital, how they are managing the stakeholders relationship, what could be the possible arrangement to keep them satisfied. These are the future oriented things which are going to provide the benefit to the business. Hira, are you clear? Perfect. The accompanying notes we have: number one, so we will explain each point individually, and that's it. Our answer would be clear. So whatever the points you have written, I am believing that you would be able to just explain it in a simple wording, and it would be your answer. See how easy this paper was. And you know, this paper was, I kept this paper intentionally for the end so that I can make you realize that there are few requirements which will tease you, but the rest of the paper is going to be easy. Easter, pre-scene is going to be announced on 19. So I have always done this thing that I try to provide the pre-scene debrief like in 2 or 3 days, in it 2 or 3 or 4 days. Like last time also, I don't know about the world, but in Pakistan I was among the few top 2 or 3 tutors who provided the pre-scene like in the latest way. Apurva, it won't be the live. It will be in the recorded version, and you have to be rest assured that it will be a very comprehensive debrief. You can also go and check onto the YouTube about the last two pre-scene debrief which I have done. It is around 2 hours, 2 lectures. So rest assured about the depth of the analysis. Easter, it would be too late now because I have to, prepare for other thing as well. Pre-scene debrief would be there, so it would be too late now. Header and then explain. No, Suman, it is not necessary that you put the headings into the accompanying notes. It's fine if you can just put the bullets. So increase reputation. We are going to mention one more thing into the reputation thing, is that there has been a security breach right now. So the integrated reporting is the voluntarily disclosure, and if you are going to give, it would be able, or it would help you to minimize the adverse impact on your reputation or your brand image. Yes, Ira, this is something you have been with me since the last attempt, and you know that whatever we do till the exam day. So this would be done, and also the grand revision session as well. So let us come back to the drafting of the answer, and I believe it's very simple. And let me just draft it quickly, and if you guys can also draft it in the chat, and I can review it. Apurva, it's not WHOL. It's a holistic which is come from holy. Yes, yes. Rehan was not typing anything. He got caught. Good, good, Apurva. So the next point is integrated reporting. When I talk about the wider stakeholder, integrated reporting not only focuses on the shareholders, but it also focuses on the wider stakeholders and the capitals which are linked with them, such as human resource, human natural resources, and what do we have else? We have financial, labor, natural. We have mentioned manufacturer, intellectual, human, social, and social impacts and relationship with the stakeholders, right? Then we have wider resources. So integrated reporting again do not only focus on the financial capital or the financial resources, it focuses on the wider resources, including all the capitals. Good, Apurva. Then we have attract the investor through the transparency. The transparency, again, you can mention that the NCTech is listed company, and through integrated reporting, it can demonstrate the transparency of its operation and the available capitals to it, and it will increase the stakeholders, because it's a wider audience, stakeholder confidence and the uh, trust in the company's affairs. I will read all the answers which are mentioned in the chat. So if anyone is drafting, please do draft it. I will check. Focuses on the value creation. It focuses on their value creation in the each capital area by the company and the resources used for it. And we have to write 2 point, only 1 point. So I'm merging this value creation and forward looking into it. Single point. Right, giving the error. And it focuses on the forward looking reporting rather than the historical reporting and discloses the future strategies and plans of the entity to create the value for wider stakeholders as the society. So simply, I have not done anything technical or not any technique applied into this answer. This is simply the explanation of the points which we have mentioned above, and we have derived them from where? From the knowledge which we have gained through the lecture of the integrated reporting. Integrated reporting includes system. Good, Apurva. Good, Hira. Hira, your drafting is reasonably good, but the only thing is that sometimes you start drafting the points in a lazy way, in a very unprofessional, like incomplete way. Otherwise, I have noticed this, that your drafting is reasonably good. Apurva's drafting is good. Sneha's drafting good. Rehan, Ashish. Apurva, when we are talking about the wider stakeholder, please do not try to include or stay restricted to a specific stakeholder when you have mentioned the supplier thing. Good point, Hira. Good point, Apurva. Good point, Hira. Excellent. So this is the end of the paper NCTech, and I am quite hopeful that this paper, like other paper which we have attempted, gave you a lot of knowledge, the techniques of drafting, and a lot of lessons about the drafting and about the way you should be approaching to the paper, the way you should be attempting the paper. So this was our last live drafting session, and moving forward, what we will have the pre-scene analysis, we will have the mock 2. I will provide the answers to the self-study student to match it with them, and if they have any issue in comparing the answer, they can always reach me out through my WhatsApp number or the group. Then we will have the grand revision session, and till the end of the till the paper, I am with you guys, I am connected to you guys. Whatever you feel like I can help you, I will try my best to facilitate. And the other thing is that even after the paper, the bond we have created, the relation we have created is not just related to the fees or not just related to the paper. It is the lifelong mentorship relation, and I would be pleased to help you guys in whatever area you need. I can be of help. So take care of yourself, and wishing you all the very best of luck for your exams, and have a good future and a best exam of SBL and the other paper as well. So let us call it a class, and you guys should be focusing on your SBL preparation from now onwards. Thank you so much.